Welcome. We'll start in an upright seated position. Instead of resting hands on knees, as we always do, switch your arms around so that you can place opposite hand on opposite knee. Lift your knees. Actively pull with your knees away from your body. Tuck your chin slightly. Create a bit of space between your shoulder blades. Inhale to lift slightly, bring your chin up, and then exhale, pulling down with your knees, creating space. Inhale, and exhale, in and out. One more, in, and we hold, out, keep breathing. Back to a neutral position. You can let go of your knees. Bring a forearm down to the floor. Keep your sit bones down as much as possible. Take opposite arm up and reach over. Instead of simply reaching out to the side, we change it up slightly by reaching forward. And you don't have to move too far forward. You just take your arm out in front ever so slightly, feeling the nice pull in the lat area. Now take your hand forward more, and then take it back up. And we'll switch. So first in a lateral direction, you take it over. Feel the stretch down the lateral line of the body. And then we modify slightly by reaching forward, almost as if you round in your spine a bit of flexion in your spine. Taking your arm forward more. Inhale, back up, and bring it down. Get into all fours. All fours position, knees below your hips, move a bit of weight around from left to right. Fingers gripping the mat. And shift a bit of weight back and forth. You'll sit back onto your heels. You can keep toes tucked, or you don't have to tuck. Let me turn so that you can see very clearly what we aim to do. You bring an arm behind your back, grip hold of your elbow. Look at how I place my hand into the flaring scapula. Because of this movement, the scapula will push out a little bit. Now I use my hand and I push against the scapula, but I'm using the hand holding onto the elbow to pull my arm deeper towards the scapula to push. So just giving your scapula a bit of a massage, really. And once you've done that side, you can switch. You can grip hold of your opposite elbow and do the same thing. So massaging your scapula. May even be a nice stretch for the front part of the shoulders. Now bring it down. You'll bring your forearms onto the mat. Hands into fists. Don't straighten your legs entirely. Keep your knees bent, but notice how I keep my back straight. Push into your right forearm, pulling your left arm up. Think of pulling your scapula closer to the spine, up and down, up and down, up, down. Switch, pulling your arm up, bring it down. Create big movement. 2 more. Last one. Bring it down. Bring your hands together, interlace your fingers. Walk your feet up, take your hips up. Inhale, get your chin in line with your thumbs. Hold this position. Pushing back. Same movement. Lower your chin. Get it in line with your thumbs. Pushing away from the floor. And then take it back. Get onto your hands, pushing up. Reposition your feet for a traditional downward facing dog. Pay close attention in this downward facing dog. Get your shoulders very close to ears, and then create space between ears and your shoulders. Pushing out of shoulders, and then space between your ears and your shoulders. Push away from the mat, and then depress your shoulders. Elevate, and depression of the shoulders. 2 more. Elevate, lower, elevate, and lower. Bend knees, look up. Position feet between hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, take arms to ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. Right hand into fist. Take your arm up. External rotation, bring it down. Internal rotation, up. Externally rotate, down. Internal. Those big movements or rotations, circumduction, to use the correct anatomical terms of movement. Change, rotation, or the movement. So now when you get to the top, you do internal rotation. At the bottom, external rotation. Working into the shoulder joint. Last one. And we'll switch hands. Hand into fist. Up, external rotation, internal. Standing up tall, not getting your entire body to follow along with the movement, but getting the arm to move in isolation as much as possible. Change rotation. It's internal at the top, external next to your body. About 3 more. 2 more. And then last one. Bring it down. Inhale, both arms up. One arm forward, one arm back. Arms meet at the top. Change rotation. Bring it back down. Inhale, arms to ceiling. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift, planting your hands. Exhale, step back into plank. Bend your arms ever so slightly. Grip the mat with your fingers and hold. So that sort of in-between phase, that's somewhat uncomfortable. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, up into that uncomfortable position, if I can call it that. And then into plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bend both arms. Get your elbows close to the mat, but not to touch. Exhale, straighten your arms. Normal down dog. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. In-breath, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Bending into knees, look up. Inhale, feet in between hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, arms to ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. In-breath, halfway. Planting hands. Exhale, step or jump back. Bending into your arms, holding that. In between chaturanga and plank shape. Now all the way to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, halfway up. Breathe. Then all the way to plank. Exhale. Down facing dog. Now we'll bend into the arms. Get your elbows to touch the floor. And then straighten. Inhale, bend. To touch. Exhale, straighten. Two more. Inhale, bend. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, bend. Exhale. Bend into knees, look up. Inhale, feet between hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. In-breath, arms up and exhale, Samastiti. Place hands onto your shoulders, thumbs at the back, your other fingers in the front. Twist to the left. Twist as much as you can, looking over your left elbow. Bring it back to center. Elbows stay in line with your shoulders, twist to the right. Bring it back to center. Release your arms on inhale, take arms up. Bend into knees. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, halfway. Plant hands. Exhale, step back. Lower down, but bend into your arms quite a bit, but not chaturanga. So we go a bit deeper, a bit closer to chaturanga. Now lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Push a little bit higher, not much. Hold. Keep shoulders away from ears. Then into plank and into a downward facing dog. Lower hips to plank. Angle both feet, shifting weight to left hand, right arm up, side plank. But raise your back leg, your left leg. Get the foot to not touch. Look down to the floor. Pull your knee towards your armpit. Take your leg back, toe to touch, hand down. Shift weight onto right hand. Left arm up. Right foot not touching the mat. Look down. Pull knee to your armpit. Take your leg back. Foot to touch. Hand down. Lower down halfway. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, halfway. Then all the way up, downward facing dog. Bending knees, look up. Inhale, feet in between hands, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Bend knees, take arms up. Chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, bend knees, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. In breath for halfway lift. Planting hands, exhale, step back. Take your hips into a down dog. We will curl into a upward facing dog, keeping toes tucked. So start to lower your hips, shift weight forward, flexing in the spine, and then start to bring your hips down, getting into a upward facing dog. To push back, you'll aim to first take it to chaturanga, and from chaturanga, straightening your arms back to a down dog. So lower your chest, chaturanga. Push back, keep your chest close to the floor as you make your way back into a down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step foot in between hands. Angle back foot, take arms up. Warrior one. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift in chest. Exhale, bring your shoulders to the inside of your right knee. Hold. Inhale, coming back up. Take your arms up. Exhale, hands to mat. Step back plank. Lower down halfway. Keep breathing. Now all the way chaturanga. In breath, up dog. Or push back from a chaturanga to a downward facing dog. Push all the way back. Down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale. Foot in between hands, angle your back foot. Warrior one. Exhale. Interlace fingers behind your back. Get the opposite pinky at the bottom. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Shoulders to the inside of your front knee. Notice how we still target the shoulders. You may have a preferred way of interlacing fingers. You would have then probably done it on the opposite side. Inhale, coming up, taking your arms up. Exhale, hands down. Step back into plank. Bend your knees a little bit. Hold your plank shape. And bring your knees down. Sit back into a comfortable child's pose. Inhale, make your way back up to all fours. Turn your hands, get your fingers to point to the back of the mat, shifting a bit of weight back and forth. You'll find that if all fours with the hands in extension, with the fingers pointing back, poses to be quite challenging, then you most definitely won't take it to the next phase. But if you have the mobility or the flexibility in the wrists, you can position your hands into a plank position with the fingers still pointing back, straighten your legs. This is where you may stay, or knees on the mat. Otherwise, exhale chaturanga. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. In up. Exhale down. Inhale up. We keep going. Exhale. Inhale. Link breath and movement. Exhale. Inhale. One more exhale. Make your way back up. Place knees down. Lift your palms off the mat. Keep your fingers on the floor. You can intensify the stretch by bending into your arms a bit. And then make your way onto your heels. Shake out your wrists. Placing hands back onto the mat this time around. Normal down dog hands, you may appreciate having fingers pointing forward, down and facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step foot in between hands. Get your foot between hands, angle your back foot to go for the bind. If the bind is too challenging, you may keep hand to the inside of your foot, otherwise bind into your side angle. Look down to the floor. Step forward with your left foot, one big step or a couple of small ones, and come up. We're not straightening the leg. The focus has not been on hamstrings. Once again, you might find that this in itself is a posture that works into the shoulder, carrying this leg, and slowly bring it down. Step your foot down, a bit of proprioception work. Step your foot back to join for your side angle. Look down to the floor. Release your hands onto the mat. Walk your hands out to the side. Keep your right knee away from the midline. Bit of hip opening. Walk your hands back. Frame your front foot. Step back. Plank to half chaturanga, if I can call it that. Hold. Now all the way down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Push back into a down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, foot between hands, angle back foot. We go for the bind. Imagine you do the posture against the wall. You get your back to meet the wall. Look down, step forward with your right foot, and slowly make your way up. Standing up tall, allowing your bent leg to push down into your arm, giving your shoulder a unique bit of tension, a bit of a pull downwards. It forces your arm to have some activation, and the shoulder joint, of course. Slowly bring your foot down, stepping, Step your right foot back into your bind variation of side angle. Look down to the mat. Release your hands, walk them out to the side, and hold. And walk your hands back. Step back into plank. Lower down on the count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pushing up on the count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips up. Downward facing dog. Bend knees. Look up. But step or hop your feet to the outsides of your hands. Tuck your elbows and walk your feet forward. You may stay in this position, or you bind, getting your right ankle over your left. Simply stay in this shape. Pushing with your arms into your legs, surely pulling with your legs into your arms. Hold. Use your fingers to distribute the weight evenly through your hands. The tendency may be for the palms to bear more weight. You can release your feet, step your feet wide, sink low with your hips, bring your arms out in front. Bring your hands under your shoulders, step it back into downward facing dog. And I'll raise your right leg. Do a balancing posture, exhale, step foot in between hands. Find your balance, catch your right wrist behind your back, balancing on your right leg, getting your body parallel to the floor. Bend into your grounding leg. We do a one leg squat. To add to this, lift your heel off the mat. Keep your back leg active. Bring your heel down. Straighten your leg. Hold. And then bend into your knee. Step back, but place the top of your back foot onto the mat. Straight line from the shoulders all the way down to the back foot. Roll over your toes. Place your hands down, step back. Plank to half plank, I suppose. Hold. To chaturanga, hold. In onto up dog. This time round, simply take it back into down dog. Raise your left leg. Exhale, foot between hands. Find balance. Catch your left ankle, at least left wrist. Hold. Straight line with your body. Hips square. Bend into your grounding leg. Lift your heel off the mat. Bring your heel down. Straighten your leg. Now bend into your knee. Place the top of your foot onto the mat. Hold. Straight line with your entire body. Roll over your toes as you shift a bit of weight back. Hands down, step back. Plank hold. A bit of conditioning with the static hold. Your breath is consistent. And slowly bring your knees down. Sit back. Comfortable child's pose. Inhale. Make your way back up to all fours. Bit of a shoulder stretch. Get onto the fingertips, arms out in front. Keep your hips in line with your knees. Bring your chest down towards the floor. Press down the fingertips to create more space, to be able to get a little bit deeper into the front parts of the shoulders. Make your way back up. Place your hands under your shoulders. Tuck toes. Take it back into your downward facing dog. Bending knees, look up. You'll hop or step your feet behind your hands and get into a seated position. Taking legs over to the right. Your back leg can be at the top, arm under your knee. Normal down dog, hands on the mat. The minute I push away from the floor, straighten my legs, keep my arms in a chaturanga shape, chest forward. Ashtavakrasana. Ashtavakrasana. 8 angle pose. Hold. Slowly come up, switch legs or sides. Elbow under, down dog, hands on the mat. Push, straighten your legs. Keep the bind and hold. You've got a lot of support with your leg on your arm. Should make it a little bit easier to hold. My right elbow is not under my body. Pushing back up and come down. Staying in this sort of casual seated position. Bring the top of your hand to the rib cage, arm to the inside. Do the same with your opposite arm. Use your leg strength to push your arms towards the midline. You can even get a bit of movement, feeling into the arms. A bit of internal rotation. Okay, and then release. Grip hold of your big toes. Keep in mind that when you pistol grip, you curl toes away from your body and you pull with the fingers towards your body. Rock back onto the sit bones. Take your legs wide and hold. We're holding this for a while, so make sure there's leg engagement as well as activation with the arms. Gaze is up. This is once again a static hold with the intention of strengthening the body, maybe strengthening the mind a bit. You need to stay focused. Not just to keep the balance, but to find a way to maintain the posture. With good alignment. Bring your legs together, gazes up, and hold. Soon we will be rolling back, but when you roll back, you'll take your legs over your head, but your arms will go down towards the floor. And it's going to happen at the same time. So you don't have to maintain this pistol grip. As we rock back, your arms will go forward, legs will meet in halasana. So take it back. Interlace your fingers. Work your arms down and hold. Now place your hands onto your back, fingers pointing up. Raise your legs into shoulder balance. Part your legs in the air, so scissor with the legs. Twist to the left. First, neutralize with the pelvis, then bring your legs back together. Part your legs, twist in the opposite direction. Back to center, legs up. Slowly release down onto the mat. Take your time. Once you get onto the floor, flex your feet, raise your right leg, and hold. So you're pushing the bottom heel down, you're pulling your right leg up in line with your right shoulder. Exhale, bring it down, switch legs. Left leg up. Push down through your right heel. Hold, feel the activation in the quads. Exhale, bring it down. Get your hands into fists. Fit your hands under your body. Raise your heels. Raise your shoulder blades off the mat. A little bit of movement, moving both legs at the same time. Small, repetitive movements. And then you'll bring your heels down. Slowly make your way up, flexing your feet, gripping hold onto the outsides of your feet, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Paschimottanasana B. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, stepping right foot to inner thigh. Knee out to the side. Inhale, you can take your arms up just to get a bit of length. Exhale, grip hold of your left wrist around your foot. If you don't have the flexibility, then simply hold onto your ankle or your foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Place left hand onto right knee, opposite hand behind your back. Keep flexing with the straight leg. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. In breath. Back to center. Grip hold of your left foot with the right hand on the outside of your foot. Opposite hand can support on the floor. Actively pull towards the back wall. So this sort of movement is what you do, holding onto your foot. Feel the activation or the lengthening you get along the lat area on the right side. The more you open with the chest, you will feel the lats lengthening quite well. Slowly release. Straighten. Right leg bend your left. Inhale. We take arms up just for a bit of lengthening. Exhale, catching your right wrist around your foot, forward bend. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. Right hand onto left knee, opposite hand behind back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, keeping your straight leg active. Looking over your back shoulder. Breath is deep. Inhale. Back to center. Grip hold around the outside of your front foot with the left hand. Opposite hand supporting on the floor. Actively start to pull back to get a stretch for your lats. Slowly release. You'll bend your right leg. So get the right leg bent with the knee facing forward. Step your opposite leg over. Bring your elbow, so the right elbow, onto your left leg. Wrap your arms around the leg. And lean towards the floor, having a lot of weight in your foot. Hold. Slowly come up. Very relaxing sort of open twist. Just place a hand onto your knee, adjusting your knee down. And then let go. Switch legs. We get opposite leg at the bottom. Step your leg over. Bring your arm through. Tricep onto your knee. Hug your leg. Get weight into your foot as you get the knee to point up to ceiling. Bottom shoulder pulling towards the floor. Slowly make your way up. Straighten both legs. Slowly curl down onto the mat. And as you get onto the floor, step feet close to glutes. Arms can simply relax down on the mat. Raise your hips, moving into a slight modified bridge pose. Step your right foot forward ever so slightly, but place the heel onto the mat. So it's only the heel making contact with the floor. Bring your left knee into your chest. Actively push down with your right heel and pull towards your right shoulder. At the same time, keep your hip high. So you keep your hips up as you actively pull. Then slowly get your left heel to match the right. Pull your right knee into your chest. Now start with the activation by pulling with your heel towards your shoulder. Maintain the activation. And slowly bring your right heel down. Lower your hips to the mat. Hug knees into your chest. You can gently move from side to side. And when you're ready, straighten your legs onto the mat. Time for Shavasana, corpse pose. Allow your breath to be natural, your body to be soft. We'll stay in Shavasana for a moment before finishing the practice in a seated position. Begin to move your toes, your fingers, in your own time. Bring knees into your chest and turn onto your side. Push up into a seat position. Sitting up tall, like the way we started the practice. Thank you for moving with me on the mat. Bring hands to prayer. Namaste. As I can't namaste myself. High five yourself.